Hey, what's up, everybody? You're listening to Roundtable Wrestling Radio for January 10th, 2017. I'm Joey 24 with me, as always, from PH, Michigan.
Sean Lathrop.
The hell was that?
I have no idea. From Chicago, Illinois. What?
Jesus, Laura, Phoenix, God almighty, Sean, really?
And from the Bronx of New York City.
Oh.
All right.
Guess you gotta change
That's
it up
it,
a
no
little.
more? Innocent no longer exist?
Yeah, he's done. I hung up a jersey.
Yeah, even Big O.
I want to be Big O, but you said that it was a wrestler named that, so, can't do it.
That's true. Adam O'Reiner.
Yeah, but he's not, is he well known?
No, he was in TNA. So
he wasn't even in TNA. He was only known because of that Z Long Island Ice Story or whatever the hell it's called.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's my street name. They call me Big O, so, can I be Big O now, please? Is that right?
Sure. We'll call you.
Because I remember that was like the number one rule. Like Sean had, no, they got somebody named Big O in the business. You can't be Big O. I'm like, really?
Yeah, and then I started thinking, like, do we know who Big O is? I mean,
well, he was I think he was in talks with WWE. He was part of Tough Enough for a while, and then
it wasn't TNA because I looked him up.
But wait a minute, does it count when you're in talks with WWE?
Well, if he ended up in WWE, then we'd have two Big O's running around.
I mean, technically, I know someone that spoke to Vince McMahon, so is that in talks with WWE?
I mean, if he's got the contract on the paper, sure. I mean,
let's have a poll in the page. Does anybody know who Big O is?
I really do have a juicy Vince McMahon story, but I'm not allowed to say it.
Why?
So I apologize. I would never be able to say it on the air.
Why would you cock tease us like that?
I know, but I was sworn to secrecy, and it deals with medical stuff, and I just can't do it on the air. I was told. I was strictly told. But
that show get you sued anyways. Saying that, so.
and also Shane McMahon as well, but that's a totally different story. What you should have done, is say I'm back, like Undertaker did twice in the last 2 months.
Right. I'm back.
I'm back like the red team.
I'm back.
I mean,
what is it? What is it? Dig holes and put in souls.
I don't really care. Everybody likes to pick on Taker because he's an old guy. He's been around quite a bit. But every time there's just something about the man.
I agree.
He can sit there and quote fucking.
I'm with Laura on that one, man.
You could be out there quoting Shakespeare, and I'd still be like sitting here watching it, like not even moving.
I said it when the Survivor Series 25 happened. That these are the last times, so I'm soaking it in. We're never going to see this again. So anybody complaining about Undertaker, man, you're never going to see anything remotely close to that ever again in your lifetime. So
I don't have. I have no problem with Undertaker. I have no problem with Undertaker. It's his promos, man. I don't know if they're getting deteriorating, but it's just so simple.
It's the era. These are the same kind of promos he cut in the 1990s.
No. When he was the American Badass, he cut okay.
Well, yeah,
promos,
that was because it was him. It was Mark Calloway cutting promos, not the Undertaker.
I'm here to dig holes and put in. So every time he always says that. Have you noticed that every Rumble? It's just I don't know. 29.
But Sean's right, though. If we weren't in the modern era, I mean, we wouldn't look at it so bad. Also, we're older again.
Yeah, but can he switch it up a little bit? Can he be a little more like? All right, remember the Undertaker when he was in the Ministry of Darkness? His promos wasn't the same. What I mean? They were a little more. It was more character to it. Now it's just
dark Undertaker, though.
Bland.
But yeah, exactly. That was a wade for an Undertaker.
He was marrying 17-year-olds and crucifying Stone Cold. I mean.
Yeah, that was a way different Undertaker. We're not going to see that. We're seeing a simpler Undertaker, and
The main thing he said, and they brought it up a few times last night in different ways. Part A, WrestleMania 35 or whatever is in New Orleans next year. What? Part B, he said in his promo, "It was long ago. My streak was broken in this stadium." I think it's going to be at next year's WrestleMania. The fact that he brought it up and next year's New Orleans?
No, I don't think so. First of all, I was right about Braun Strowman. That they made that very clear last night. That there will be a situation between them at the Royal Rumble, probably leading into WrestleMania, which I have no problem with. I think it's the perfect matchup. I kind of want to see it. I'm interested in it. I think Braun Strowman's headed in a really good direction. So, but Undertaker again, if he was last year when he fought Shane, if he wasn't so, if he didn't wrestle the way he did, I would say he could go another year. I think it would be in his best interest.
I was trying to make a point before my call dropped. Well, my point was like the Ministry Undertaker. Do you remember like those promos? Like they wasn't so bland. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's just no substance behind it.
But that was the Attitude Era, and he was a much, much darker human being at that time.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be dark now. Well, what's the difference? I'm not telling you to crucify freaking Midian again. I'm just saying.
There's a difference.
Taker had the Undertaker that we all know and love became human, and I mean.
But he's not cutting a promo like a human.
Yeah, but
he's still trying to convince us that he came from parts unknown.
Like I kind of feel you a little bit like
that's valid.
He could easily do like that weird mix between, because when he started that feud with Shawn Michaels and that feud with Triple H for Mania, he was definitely not full blown demon, but he also wasn't completely Mark Calloway either.
Yeah, but you're not going to get that.
Maybe I'm nitpicking a little bit, but I don't know. I expect a little bit more, especially from a veteran of 30 years. Come on.
No, I agree with you.
Do you think? Yesterday they showed Braun looking at him. Like, don't you?
Braun is another one. Braun needs to stop talking already. I'm sorry. I like Braun. I like the character. He's talking way too much, and it's just.
Honestly,
really killing it.
I think he's talking just
not really what not really what I asked you.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I have to say it now. All right, what was the question you asked? He was looking at him and what?
He was looking at it. Don't you think that's where they're going to go with it? Like Braun and Undertaker at some point?
Yeah, at Royal Rumble. Yeah, it was pretty obvious. They're going to bump heads. But
I think that's a WrestleMania match, personally.
WrestleMania, wow.
WrestleMania, Braun Strowman, Undertaker.
Well, that's the thing, because Undertaker declared himself for the Royal Rumble. Braun's going to be in the Royal Rumble, so you probably have those two face off. But the Royal Rumble poster, and a lot of people are pissed off about this, and I hope you saw this, Joey. Everyone, actually. And in the front four, on the right, Goldberg and Brock. On the left, Cena and Taker. If I've ever seen foreshadowing, that's it. And and the third part, why the hell is AJ Styles, your current WWE champion, in the fifth row? Like, he's sitting next to Kalisto in the back. What the hell?
Well, he's on the Royal Rumble is obviously the main focus this year. Like, the real main focus.
Okay, then why is John Cena, the guy fighting for the WWE title, in the front row, and the WWE champions in the fifth row?
Well, it's pretty. Everybody knows the answer. He's not a really WWE guy.
Yeah, it's not a riddle.
It isn't.
It's messed up. It shouldn't be like that, but yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I think they're, John is like fully back in the company, so they're,
it's part-time.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you something. A lot of people's gonna take a back seat now that John Cena is fully back. A lot of people that thought they were gonna get a push, that probably got happy. It's a wrap for them.
I think so too. And
it's sad because AJ is going to be the first one. I really do believe AJ is losing the title in Royal Rumble, and it's fucked up.
AJ and Kevin Owens are on the chopping block.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's bad. And I really hope they keep that belt on AJ. Out of all the championships right now, he really needs to keep it until Mania and then lose it in Mania. Not Royal Rumble.
I would love for that to happen, but I really, really doubt that at this point. The way that they got, John Cena beat Baron Corbin, which I was a little surprised that he beat him fair and square. I thought AJ was going to interfere or something. Yeah, I'm a little surprised because they've been kind of building Baron Corbin. I didn't think he was going to lose like.
Speaking of surprises, did Dolph Ziggler beat Kalisto today?
No.
Oh, because I didn't see. Oh, okay.
Oh, you did?
Okay. Kalisto beat him clean, and then Ziggler went ape shit.
Really? Wow.
He beat him clean, even though he turned into a heel. Jesus.
Wow.
Kalisto beat him clean, and then after the match was over, Ziggler went nuts on Kalisto, and then Cruz came out and tried to fight him, and yeah.
By the way, Dolph Ziggler, I don't know if you saw this, but he cut the best promo of his career tonight.
No, I didn't. I got here late.
Motherfucker word.
Not a fucking word. Best promo he's done in a very fucking long time.
Oh, he didn't say nothing? Oh, okay.
He didn't say nothing. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
He didn't say nothing, and he lost again, being a heel. That's fucked up.
I like it, though, because it's making him darker and darker, so I kind of like it. You know, I didn't see that part, but I did see when he beat up Apollo Crews and stuff. So at least
that was
it's a step in the right direction for Dolph.
And the crowd has actually been behind him the last 2 weeks, man. Something they haven't been in like 3 years. So that's what's up.
No? Of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? The crowd
because y'all said like numerous times they gave up hope on him. So I figured you.
I know, but once
and if I remember correctly, y'all said even turning him a heel won't help. So I kept pushing it.
In terms of caring, I don't think so. In terms of caring, I don't think people.
No, the crowd cares. The crowd is yelling yes every time he does something heelish. So they're caring a little bit more.
No,
it's only week 2, so we don't know fully yet.
Yeah, we will.
It's gonna take It's gonna take. I'll tell you one thing. It'll take a lot for me to care about Dolph Ziggler again. A lot. And I don't even know what that is, to be honest. The recipe, if you will, for making me care about Dolph. It's just too late for me. It's past. It's like me liking Baron Corbin, even though he might be getting a little bit better, but I'm just not into it.
Yeah, his personality sucks. I mean, I did praise his last 2 weeks of work, but other than that, that's where it ends.
He had a pretty decent match with John Cena, but. Again, they were building him up, and then John beats him clean. I thought at least AJ was going to get involved somehow and knock him out or whatever, but I don't know. That was a little weird to me.
I think the reason why AJ didn't get involved is I think a face turn is coming real soon. I don't know. I just feel it for AJ.
And who's he going to feud with though? If he turns face,
I don't know, but it just it just seems like I don't know. It's just the way he was. The way he stepped to Baron Corbin before the match, and it was so face, like just the way he came out, the way he's been acting lately.
Now, Laura, you're gonna have to help me out a lot with this.
Well, he beat up John Cena last week in a cheap shot, so I don't know.
You're gonna have to help me out a lot with this one, Laura, because he was supposed to be a heel in New Japan, but the crowd loved him, America loved him, everyone loved him, and then he took on. He's right now challenging Okada for the IWGP Championship.
What are you talking about?
Kenny Omega?
No, after Omega, at the end of Wrestle Kingdom.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to get this Roshan gun. I'm trying to give him the point that AJ Styles has done this before a lot in Japan in Ring of Honor, where he's supposed to be the heel, where he's supposed to be the guy that's booed. But guess what? He doesn't give a damn.
But this is WWE.
Exactly. If he's going to apply this to WWE, where as a heel, he'll face up against another heel, or as a heel, he'll obviously face up against another face, or a face. It's definitely going to put him more in that, I guess, tweener category. And I would love that more so. Why should it matter?
Yeah, I think we definitely need more tweeners, to be honest with you. A lot of people, they're not good as a fucking face, but they're not that good as a heel, but they're good in between.
I think John Cena needs that more than anybody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And he's doing
face
it
now.
No, I think he's more intense. I think
it's kind of. I feel like guys like AJ Styles, John Cena, Triple H are all kind of in that realm of I've been doing this for 20 years. That they're immediately tweener. Even when they're supposed to be a heel, you cheer them. Like Brett Favre in the NFL, they've been there for so long, it's hard to ignore them now.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, especially like 92, 93, this was at the height, and I mean the height of Michael Jordan. They had just done the Dream Team, and I was a Phoenix Suns fan. I was a Charles Barkley fan, and every time I went to school, I would get I never got bullied in high school, but I would get bullied in a sense of sports. People would trash the hell out of me because I was liking Charles Barkley and not the Knicks. I didn't realize, what the Knicks were at that time, very stupidly. But the point of the story is that, we all agreed on one thing, that we despised Michael Jordan, or so we said. But we all knew that we didn't despise Michael Jordan. We just hated the fact that he was beating all of our teams at that time.
At the end of the day, he was well respected.
Yeah, we liked him. We liked him. We just didn't want to say it because we had allegiances to other teams. But Michael Jordan was one of those guys that would piss you off because he was making the shots against one of your guys, whether it be Patrick Ewing or Reggie Miller or Charles Barkley. But at the end of the day, people still liked Michael Jordan. And if anything, they liked him even more after that. So it's like just certain guys that you want to hate, and also actors too. There's a lot of movie stars that you want to hate, but then you see them in an interview or something, and you find out that they do some incredible charity work or whatever. And then there's those fucking idiots that just that you despise and why, and it's a perfect reason, like Kim Kardashian or something like that. They make it very easy.
Or Donald Trump, or
yeah. They make it very easy, and by the way, speaking of Donald Trump, this guy is about to be inaugurated into the presidency, and he's over there having an argument with Arnold Schwarzenegger about The Apprentice.
About ratings.
Oh my god.
About run the fucking country. What are you worried Arnold Schwarzenegger for?
Or calling Meryl Streep overrated because she spoke up against him.
Yeah, and on top of that, he had a comment about Ronda Rousey losing. Like, what the hell business of you, like you said, being the president? Yes, he said some tweet that made news, and people were saying the same thing you said. You about to be the president, you worrying about Ronda Rousey losing? Like, come on.
No, I mean, listen, I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong for a president to have an opinion. What I'm saying is that he got really, really involved in the Schwarzenegger rating thing. And I'm just like, that's a little bit too stupid to get involved with, worried about Schwarzenegger's ratings and whatnot. Personally, I think the show is awesome because I love that show. But, it's just this is what we're dealing with right now.
He's not going to change, man.
No, he's not. That's a good point. He's not going to change. But
this could actually be the downfall. I'm hoping this is going to be his downfall.
But what's scary about that is that, okay, let's say he gets mad at Meryl Streep, right? Okay, all he does to Meryl Streep is tweet. But let's say somebody from a different country pisses him off. He has the fucking military at his disposal. That's a scary fucking thought, man.
Yes, it is.
Because it looks like he can't handle criticism very well. And imagine another country pisses him off.
See all, I keep bringing this up to people that support him. He's going to say the wrong goddamn thing, get shot, get killed, and then we're going to deal with Mike Pence. We're fucked no matter what.
No matter what. And let's say they take out Trump and Pence, we're still fucked.
Whoa.
Who is it?
Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan is the Speaker of the House, so he would take over.
Yeah.
Oh, God. We're really fucked.
Whoever's the majority leader in the Senate, I think, is the one who takes over.
I just think,
No, it's the Speaker of the House, and then it's the Secretary of State after that.
That's it.
There's a certain poise that you have to, in my opinion, have as a president and not get involved in certain things. And Donald has displayed from the moment that he ran till now that he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the poise. And that's a dangerous thing to have when you're running the country, in my opinion. And I'm not, all jokes aside, that's just a really dangerous thing. Because he has an itchy trigger finger, basically. Yeah. Is what he has.
He can't keep the fuck up off Twitter.
And it's not Donald that's going to get shot or killed. It's the stupid troops that he's going to send.
Yeah.
In his honor. You know what I mean? Like that's the stupidity of it, really. But by the way, what is Linda? I don't know if we talked about this, but isn't Linda doing something with him?
She is one of his cabinet members.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, one of the proposed cabinet members. She's going to be the business administrator, I want to say. And
my sister said that Omarosa also has a position.
No, not that I've heard.
Senior advisor?
Yeah, she has some kind of a position. It made news. And I was like, uh-oh. But yeah, so that's basically what we're dealing with in the real world. But back to pro wrestling, I want to make this real. I want to make two things mentioned before I forget because we did last week. Okay. One is last week we did not mention once that Dean Ambrose won the Intercontinental title from The Miz.
Did he?
Which is crazy because that was actually a really, really good match.
Yeah, so Ambrose won the Intercontinental title. In my opinion, that's a consolation prize for getting him out of the WWE title picture. But yeah, so he won the Intercontinental title. And number 2, really, really big props to Shawn for both of these things. We're going to have Dan to be Severn.
Well, that one's... Dan to be Severn is currently up because of everything that's happened. Definitely, and I'll say this right now, check out his book. It is right now on Amazon for $9.99. The Realest Guy in the Room. Also, this Saturday, Danger Zone MMA live on iPay-per-view. And January 21st will be Price of Glory Wrestling. His wrestling promotion is back, so he's really busy right now. Definitely check out the interview. We got it up right now on our Round Table Wrestling radio page.
For the fourth
it's already up? That's what's cool.
Yeah. For the 4th time, Dan to be Severn has become kind of a friend to the show in recent weeks. And also, next week, Shawn, why don't you tell them who also you worked on and got for the show, which I think is a massive guest.
Yes. I put up the little teasers. A lot of you guys already caught on. But next week, we'll be having the United States' best lawyer, Joseph Parks.
Yes. A.K.A. the Monster Abyss, a TNA icon, you can say. You know, one of the identifiable names of TNA, aside from AJ and Samoa Joe, you think of Abyss, and he's going to be on the show. I think that's, to me, is really, really cool.
He's the biggest name TNA's had that hasn't been in WWE, really.
Yes, and, you know, what's even cooler about it, and I've said this many times, is when you have a guest that we're actually fans of. You know, Abyss is a guy that I've talked about since he's been in TNA. And to me, when the original Joseph Parks angle started, I thought it was the best thing going on television at that time. And I said it many, many times on the show, that was my favorite thing going on in pro wrestling at that time. That was brilliant television when that first happened.
Oh, I love the Joseph Park angle. It was like one of the few times I actually paid attention to TNA.
It really was. It was truly, truly amazing work. That's when I really got to understand the versatility that this man had.
Yeah.
You know, that he was so versatile as a performer.
Maybe 2 or 3 years prior, he was wrestling against Christian Cage, and he had Paul Mitchell there. He was like that sinister, crazy monster you can't stop. 2 years later, he's holding the power of Hulkamania with a Hulk Hogan ring, kind of being that early Mankind face thing. And even just last year, transforming again as Decay. And honestly, Decay Abyss is my favorite Abyss we've seen so far, but he's amazing all around.
Yeah, he's an incredible performer, and has one of my favorite matches of all time, actually, against the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal maniac Sabu in the barbed wire match that they had in TNA. One of the more not talked about matches that should be talked about is Abyss and Sabu. That was an amazing, brutal match. And you know, many others. So we'll talk to him about, you know, when Savio Vega, I believe, gave him the name and all of that. And of course, Joseph Parks, the state of TNA, which, you know, since we're talking about this right now, we could say something positive, basically, about TNA first.
Positive.
Yeah, I don't want to say a lot, because every time we think something positive is going to happen, something massively negative happens, you know, or something drags it down or whatever. But at the moment, we're talking about right now, today, as it stands, not in the future, certainly not in the past, but right now, Jeff Jarrett, Dutch Mantell seem to have headed back to TNA and are helping with running the company, you know, creative and all of that. There was a picture on the group page of Jeff Jarrett and Dutch Mantell talking backstage. These are major positives for TNA, because I was just asking Byron, and I was actually just asking Shawn, who's running TNA? I swear to God. I mean, I really started to think about, like, who's deciding who wins and who loses. I mean, so there has to be someone. There has to be someone that says, hey, Eddie Edwards, you're the world champion. or you're not the world's champ. You know what I mean? Like, and now looks like we're getting answers to those questions, which is a good thing, because I would absolutely entrust Dutch Mantel way more so than any other people that have been doing it back there. Mm-hmm. So I think those are major positives. You know, Dutch Mantel was the original creator of the Knockouts and really elevated the women's division over there, and hopefully they can steer the ship somewhat and get some normalcy. The one thing I will say about TNA, because I did watch highlights of Impact. Number one, I'll say the positives. The logo is awesome. I really do like the logo. I like that the ropes are bright blue instead of the dark, damp blue. So those are the positives. But the negatives, again.
Well, just before you go in the negatives, I want to mention two more positives for you.
Yeah.
Of course, you hit it a little bit. The fact that Dixie Carter is gone and Anthem is complete control of TNA, and that's where the new logo came in. They put the A with the Anthem logo for Impact.
But don't you notice that the ropes are much brighter?
I honestly didn't notice the ropes at all. I noticed
like a gorgeous blue, man.
When EC3 came to the ring for the opening segment, he stopped, dropped a knee, and just pointed at the Anthem logo like, "Yeah, look at that! Whoa, I am Ethan."
What, yeah, but is it? Let me ask you a question. You know, I'm not like a big TNA. I'm not a big TNA buff, but is this Anthem people? Are they wrestling people, or this is just another business?
A wrestling company. They own Fight Club. I think that's the name of the network. It's like an online stream fight. What was that?
The Fight Network.
Yeah, the Fight Network, and they stream ICW, a few MMA things. So they're more of a streaming company, but they focus on combative stuff. But
okay. Because I was just hoping it wasn't like just a business. Hey, let's just pick this up and see where it goes. You know what I
mean? They seem to be really invested in this.
Yeah.
And actually, those people that had a little slack for the new logo, but I think it looks cool.
Yeah,
I think
it's actually a breath of fresh air, man. You look at it, it's like okay,
yeah, it looks cool.
And the other positive, and especially for people who can't see it on Pop TV, Impact Wrestling is heading to Hulu.
Yes. Oh, I forgot.
And that's major. Because Hulu is
major.
I have definitely doing this thing right now.
Yeah, I have Hulu. I love Hulu, by the way, and I'm not just saying that because they're not obviously sponsors. But honestly, when I miss a show or I forget to DVR it, it's right there on Hulu. Or I could watch one of my favorite shows of all time is Law and Order SVU. Every season is on there. That's the only streaming service that has every season of Law and Order. Netflix has like the newer seasons, but they don't have every season. Hulu does, and they have movies, by the way, as well, in case that tickles your balls.
Or if you watch a certain series that's online, they'll have the episode up next day.
What's cool about it is that they're getting CBS, which is why TNA is getting on there, because they're affiliated with CBS. So Big Bang Theory, any CBS show basically you could think of is going to go on there. They're going to get Disney, which means like Marvel movies, Marvel television shows and stuff and so forth. So TNA being on Hulu is like a little bit like TNA being on Netflix. This is something that they should have done for a long time. Especially if they have older episodes, that's going to really like elevate TNA really big. A major thing for TNA. The negatives, though, I have to say, two things really quickly is that, once again, if I was Anthem and I go in there and I look at the presentation, I'm like, okay, we have to change this right away. Unfortunately, the presentation hasn't changed. When you turn to TNA, it still looks like a funeral. It's dark. It's damp. You can't see anybody. You don't even know there's a crowd there.
I give them a little opportunity.
I'm giving some time.
But you have to do something about that, though, because it's all your television show. So presentation is a big thing about it. I don't think they're gonna have a nice new bright logo and with a dark arena. Eventually, somebody's gonna say, "Listen, you need a little more lighting for that logo because it don't blend well." Exactly, that's my point. You have to do something about that, because a presentation. If I'm flipping the channel, I don't know anything about TNA, and I stop and I'm like, "Whoa, is that Bobby Lashley or is that Damian Sandow, whoever?" I'm like, but why does it look like that?
Why is TNA so dark lately? Back in the days, it was never like that.
It wasn't like that.
You know what I think it is? I guess they don't want to see how many seats is empty or something, man. So they put it so dark. That's the only kind of freaking explanation I could give.
There's another reasoning to it, and if like Ring of Honor does it, and they'll have packed shows, and IWE does this cheat as well. And the idea is like you put as much lighting as possible on the ring. It makes it look like all the focus is on there. Kind of like when you see a stage performance, you don't see the audience, you see just the stage.
No, I get that. But
but that's until so what happens when they go into the audience to fight? You ain't gonna see them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have to change that presentation because it just doesn't make me want to watch it when I see it. You know, it just looks depressing. It looks depressing as hell.
It looks more low budget.
Very low budget. And the other thing is that, look, Eddie Edwards is a great wrestler, but in my opinion, if you want to start afresh and make some noise, that guy should not be the world's champion.
Well, I got some good news for you.
Oh, he lost?
Spoiler alert.
Go ahead.
Bobby Lashley.
Nobody.
Good.
Better. That's
I'm
better.
gonna actually start watching this since we got new owners and stuff. I want to start watching it. And great that Bobby Lashley's the champion.
It looks like the idea that's going to be Bobby Lashley probably feuding with EC3. I'm guessing, while the Wolves, because Davey Richards is back now that he's getting paid. The Wolves will be feuding with the Hardys, which.
Nice.
If we end up seeing the Wolves like in a Delete or Decay type thing, and they transform into wolves to fight the Hardys, I'm in.
Nice, yeah. That.
What you mean, like real wolves?
Yeah, like werewolves.
Yeah. Oh, you don't think that's out of the realm of what the Hardys do?
No, that's just ridiculous, man. If they turn into a wolf, come on, man.
Hey,
you trying to take this wrestling company serious now? You know what I mean? With new owners, and you're gonna have them turn into wolves.
That's ridiculous.
Oh God.
Nothing that they've done already is ridiculous, but that's ridiculous.
That right there was just certified.
They threw Crazy Steve. They threw Crazy Steve.
It's had a stamp of approval a long time ago.
Jeff Hardy threw Crazy Steve into an active volcano, and then Matt Hardy pinned him after he got blasted out. They jumped the line a while ago.
Oh my God, I didn't see that. They did that.
Dude, they had a drone, man. Come on. I mean,
yo, that is horrible.
But that was what I was gonna say. Is that, like I said, Eddie's a great wrestler, but you know, if you want to make a little bit of, I'm just talking about for right now. You want to make some noise, you have to have somebody be the world champion that at least people recognize. You have to. That's the first thing you do. When people start reinvesting into your show, that's when you introduce Eddie Edwards and you get to know him and you get to understand him. But you can't be like, I need to watch TNA because Eddie Edwards is the world champion. Again, it's just about recognition. Same thing with Chris Hero, by the way. I'm gonna say, Chris Hero returns to NXT as Cassius Ohno. Now we got to restart with Chris Hero. He has to get those people back that kind of lost faith in him. A lot of stuff has to happen with Chris Hero before we start getting on the hero train. And believe me, I was on that train for a long time.
Why did they change that dude's name for? I don't understand
that was his name originally in NXT.
I know, but come on.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like AJ Styles, Samoa, everybody get to keep their name, but you know.
He was in
and Chris Hero, let me tell you something. I'm not a big Chris Hero follower, but it's like, come on, like I heard about it.
He came in. The first time he came in, it was when Seth came in and Dean came in and all that, because it was John Moxley and Tyler Black. It was just a common thing when they got to the Fed just to switch their names.
Yeah, it was. There were a lot of name changes at that time. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but Tyler Black and all they wasn't popular. You know, Chris Hero would ring a lot of bells. Yeah, and I really don't follow Chris Hero. Even I was hearing about him.
And let me tell you something.
Why not keep the name?
That's actually true. I agree with all on that. Like I heard about Tyler Black. I knew who Tyler Black was, obviously, or maybe not obvious, but I did. I knew who the American Dragon was, and Bryan Danielson, but I absolutely knew who Chris Hero was. He had the coolest fucking theme song. His wrestling matches were out of this world. And my point being is that, once again, is that we have to now reinvest. We have to see if this guy is serious about all this again. So I'm hoping, because let me tell you, I told Shawn, like, him and Nakamura could have some of the stiffest matches that you've ever seen on NXT. those two guys are not going to be apologizing after the match. Let's put it that way, because Hero gives it just as much as he can take it, and we know all about Nakamura. So, those two getting it on in NXT, you're going to see some shit with those two. So I'm hoping that this is a reinvention of Chris Hero, because that was my guy for a very long time, and I hope he gets to the main roster and has at least one match with Cesaro, or at least a tag team match with Cesaro, and bring back the Kings of Wrestling for one night. But I'm excited about the prospects of TNA, but they got to change those things. They got to make the show look a little bit decent. You know, I wish they would bring back the ramp that would go from the entrance to the ring. I always liked that idea. Nobody does that anymore.
Like the old NWA type thing.
Yeah, I think that's, I used to love when people go up the ramp or go through the ramp or whatever. A lot of good fights with Cactus Jack and the Nasty Boy.
Oh, yes, and that ramp, yes.
So it's good. It's looking good for TNA. I mean, it's amazing because last year we were all like, hey, this is it. And TNA kicks out once again. They check the arm of TNA in a sleeper hold and they raise their arm at the last minute. So TNA's not going anywhere. So I hope they change the look, man. They got to do that. They got to make it look lively. This guy that does the talk show, what's his name, Sean? He did the talk show with the Hardys.
Oh, Eli Drake.
Yeah, Eli Drake is awesome. They got some real prospects there.
Yeah.
EC3 is elevated. So they got prospects there. I really think they got something going on there. So hopefully, if they could change the look a little bit. I like the ropes. I really do think that makes it look way better than it did. Because everything looked dark and damp. And now the ropes are nice and bright. Which looks really cool. So hopefully they got something going on now.
Now, getting off of TNA, you and I talked about this, Joey, that we needed to talk about this. Laura and I have seen it.
Right.
Holy crap, Wrestle Kingdom happened.
Oh, yeah.
Was it really that good? Because I really want to see it.
It was really, really, really fucking good. Almost 6 hours.
Yeah, the best
6
way
hours.
The best way to put it for you, Joey, Innocent. The first half you probably wouldn't like as much because there were.
Yeah,
about
I was going to tell you, please let me know what matches to watch.
There were like 3.5 stars. I thought most of those, but definitely check out the. What?
You said 6 hours?
Hey,
no. I really didn't know wrestling shows could go that long.
That was just as long as WrestleMania.
Yeah.
No. All right, so Sean, please do me a favor. Just let me know the matches that are worth watching. Then I'll be fine.
Before just saying the matches, I do want to break down the card a little bit, and that's just a few of the things. Of course, Laura's going to tell me when I'm an idiot, of course.
We all do that.
That's true, too, actually. Starting from the beginning of the show, the biggest shock was the New Japan Rumble, where it's a Royal Rumble match, essentially. Michael Elgin won it. Billy Gunn's in the match, and he looks amazing. The big shock was that Scott Norton is back and looking as a full-time for New Japan.
Wow.
Scott Norton.
Does he look good?
He looked great.
Scott Norton. That's not the guy from WCW, is it?
Same guy.
Yeah.
Wow. That guy is still fucking wrestling?
Yep.
Really?
Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's
yeah. He looked good too.
Yeah,
and they had like a Royal Rumble type
Elgin was a beast. Norton's actually 55.
Yeah,
wow.
He's still fucking going.
And he's still big?
Like big muscular, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you look at Scott Norton and Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn's 53, and they're still moving around like young kids. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but Billy Gunn has always been like always been in shape, man. I've never seen him out of shape.
He's a gym rat.
It's like he never lets himself go. Once you let yourself go, sometimes it's hard to get back on track. And Billy Gunn never let himself go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Cody took on Juice Robinson, the CJ Parker from NXT, and
that was a really good match.
I thought it was an all right match. It was how I expected, but Cody, goddamn, how did WWE just let this guy go? Really?
Stupid.
Yeah.
It's just like with the, I didn't exactly agree with them, letting CJ go, but I think CJ's gotten only better since coming to New Japan and training in the dojo. his transitions have gotten even smoother in the ring than they were in NXT.
Well, CJ Parker's final match in NXT was against Kevin Owens. So, I mean, you kind of really saw when they stopped training their own guys and started bringing in their own. I mean, I could go on to why it seems like NXT may or may not have their own guy be NXT champion again, but for the most part, they're bringing indie guys to NXT and then to the main roster, which positives and negatives, really.
Right.
Of course, we're going to talk a little bit about the Adam Cole Kyle O'Reilly match later because weird news coming out of there. But the last 4 matches for you, Innocent, those are the matches you should see.
All right.
I
want to see the word Rumble
so
match.
are you going to skip completely over the Bucks losing their strap to Roppongi Vice?
Okay, Roppongi Vice. I was going to skip over them, yeah. RPG Vice, Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero, your new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. They were calling out the Hardys the entire match, and then they lost.
Yeah. It was funny because there was rumored that they were splitting Roppongi Vice up because they were like having issues show leading up to Wrestle Kingdom and all this stuff, so they weren't even sure if the Bucks were going to drop the belts. Like I said, there's a lot. Like I legitimately, I would just sit and just watch the whole thing because there's like certain elements throughout this entire show.
Yeah, but that's 6 hours.
Yeah.
That's 6 hours. I mean,
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what though, when you're sitting and just enjoying stuff, and not giving a shit, it doesn't feel like 6 hours. I paused it. in the middle.
That's what I'm gonna have to do. Pause it.
Yeah.
Well, I paused it just before the Naito
Tanahashi,
Naito Tanahashi match, and because I needed to take care of something real quick, I came back and finished it, and I get to the main event, and I'm going, Jesus fucking Christ, how long are these guys going? They went 45 minutes.
Wow.
Whoa, really?
Kenny Omega, Kazuchika Okada. Dave Meltzer gave this match 6 out of 5 stars, and the greatest match he's ever seen in his life. And
real quick, Sean.
I've been hearing a lot of praises about that match, and it really makes me want to see it.
Wait, how did he give it 6 out of 5?
Laura?
Sean, well, first of all, it's Kazuchika Okada.
God bless you.
Close and good try. But yeah, I just like I said once again, that match went 45 minutes,
Wow.
and they both had their ample opportunity to get every bit of their shit in, plus some.
I was literally on the edge of my seat most of this match, and even Mick Foley, he said it was the best table spot or table play he's ever seen. It's one of the best matches. A lot of the guys in WWE who were tweeting that they were watching this.
They were up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning watching it live. It was the main event, Okada versus Omega for the IWGP Heavyweight title.
Wow.
I cannot tell you as much as I possibly can that you need to see this match.
What, the Kenny Omega match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it because I'm hearing a lot of good stuff on the internet about it.
And
everywhere I go to all these different like websites, they keep saying it. Like they'll put that as an example and one of the greatest matches ever. So I definitely have to see that. 45 minutes.
It's so funny too. It's so funny too because like I guess Cornette tried to go after Omega for it, and Omega did the biggest bitch please in mankind history.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Cornette said. Hang on, I'm trying to find it real quick. Come on.
Bitch, please.
Okay, so this is what Omega said. He said, "I don't believe Jim Cornette hates me as a person as much as he says he does. If he were saying anything about anyone in the WWE, they couldn't and wouldn't respond to him. And the Young Bucks and I are kind of hot right now, so I'm certain he thinks saying something about me will make me say something about him, so he can do another podcast or something. But Jim Cornette has a brilliant mind for wrestling, and I understand long ago that not everybody was going to be a fan of my style or the Young Buck style, and that's okay.
So
that is the biggest. That is the biggest bitch please in history.
So wait a minute, Jim Cornette says something bad about them?
Yeah, about Omega.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cornette does
about the match?
No, just Omega.
But why all of a sudden he says something about
Because Omega's suddenly the hottest thing in non-WWE professional wrestling, even professional wrestling after that moment. So he wanted to jump on it like, yeah, I had Omega in Ring of Honor when I was working there. That guy was such an asshole. He no-showed events, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, Jim.
Why? By the way, why is it in the wrestling business when... Like, let's say, like, I'm just using Cornette as an example, but I've seen this other people do it too. That when they work with somebody, let's say they work with someone in 1990, that's what they base their whole opinion on. Even if it's 2016, they'll still say, well, he no-showed events and he wasn't a good business person. But that's when you dealt with him in 1990.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you haven't dealt with him since that point, so how do you know that he's like that now? And they continue that opinion all the time. It's like it's nonstop. And Cornette and others, by the way, have done that, consistently. They go by based on what their experience was at the time that they dealt with that person. How do you know that person hasn't changed? People change in 10 years or even longer than that. So it's like that's a stupid thing for Cornette to be doing all the time. Every time he goes off on Kevin Owens is when he dealt with Kevin Owens many years ago. But maybe Kevin Owens has changed drastically. He has to have changed. WWE wouldn't have him there if he didn't change.
The one thing, like I said, I will respect Jim Cornette forever and a day. The man has a brilliant mind. I've met him personally. He's just a wonderful individual. However, there are times that he just doesn't know when to shut down the old school train of thought.
Yeah, he doesn't. All of his stuff is when I work with him, and he was a dick at that time, and apparently when you're a dick at a certain period of time, you're a dick forever. Sometimes people could be nice when you met them and then turn into a dick, or some people could be a dick and then turn into being nice. It doesn't always have to be what Cornette says.
Yeah.
Again, if Kevin Owens was the person that he was in Ring of Honor or whatever made Jim Cornette upset, WWE wouldn't tolerate that for 2 seconds. Come on. WWE doesn't...
a lot, but I kind of understand. I think I know where Cornette's coming from, because there were a lot of kickouts from finishers, established finishers, in a lot of matches. And that stuff tends to get old kind of quick. However, when you're throwing on a 45-minute classic,
right,
like Okada and Omega were at Wrestle Kingdom, there's just, at that certain point in time, it's got to step aside for just a brief moment.
But it's always like somebody has to rain on somebody's parade, Somebody always has to do that.
If I remember, I don't think Omega nailed that one-winged angel on Okada the entire match.
Yeah.
And then you have the flip side where Jim Ross can't ever give an honest opinion about something. His opinion is the complete opposite of Cornette. If Cornette says everything negative about everybody, or certainly rains on people's parades, Jim Ross is always giving people the benefit of the doubt. Well, the match wasn't that terrible. If you really look at it, it's just like, Jim Ross, be real for a second. Just fucking say a real opinion. God, everybody can't be that good all the time.
What was that accent? You tried to do the Jim Ross accent.
No, it's just like he's just annoying with when people ask him stuff. He takes the time to answer the person, but he's always saying the same answer. It's always like, well, you can't look at it like that, and it's always like this fake, monotone answer. And then you have Jim Cornette on the other side with who can't stop giving his real opinion.
Oh my God! I'm looking through Cornette's Twitter right now, and I just came across something from Heel Book, and it says live feed from Jim Cornette's house, and with good reason. It's fucking over. It's when the Dixie Carter news dropped about her no longer being with TNA, and it's the scene from Wizard of Oz where the Munchkins are marching Dorothy out of Munchkin Land onto the yellow brick road.
Ding dong, the bitch is dead.
But by the way, what is does Cornette work for somebody?
I think he just does his podcast and that's it.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway,
he's not in the WWE Hall of Fame, right?
No, God no.
Well, he should be.
He should be.
But just all the politics, it'd be like seeing what's his dang name? WCW champion, former writer, Vince Russo. It'd be like seeing Vince Russo in the WWE Hall of Fame.
No, but Jim Cornette's actually done more than Vince Russo. I mean, as a performer, as a talent, as just in general, I don't think it's impossible for Jim Cornette. I think it's a lot more impossible for Russo. But again, even that, I don't think it's impossible. Eventually, they're going to run out. Speaking
of WWE Hall of Fame. Actually, should we mention the Kenny Omega thing right now? Nah, it's pretty much Kenny Omega. There's no news to it, actually. Kenny Omega said he was taking a break. People thought WWE. John Cena posted a picture of him on Instagram, and he's not going anywhere. Okay. So, yeah, it was pretty much people jumped to conclusions, and never mind. Anyways, WWE Hall of Fame. Another name is leaked. We've already heard last week Dime Dallas Page. This week we were hearing that Rick Rude is going to be slated for this year's Hall of Fame.
About
Long
time,
overdue.
too. Yeah,
Long overdue.
Definitely.
I really thought he was in it, to be honest.
Damn. Nah, it's definitely overdue, like Laura just said. Rick Rude was definitely one of the most memorable characters in the 80s, in the early 90s.
You realize that, you know how people make a big deal, and rightfully so, by the way, that he was on Nitro and Raw the same night?
Yeah.
Well, Rick Rude is one of the, I think he might be the only person to be in that era, to be in WCW, ECW, and WWE. I think he's the only wrestler that was in all three around that time. I think maybe the only other one is Psycho Sid was in all three.
There was quite a lot of, like, what defined that era? Because, like, Dusty Rhodes was in all three.
Right. Well, Dusty Rhodes wasn't in WWE at that time.
He was, like, in the early 90s.
Yeah, Rick Rude was actually there at that time.
Yeah.
He was in all three at that time. So Rick Rude might be the only guy. And I was thinking about that the other day because I was watching that ECW thing, and I'm like, oh, shit, I forgot that he was in ECW for a little bit around that time period. And, again, he's the only guy that was in all three major promotions at that time. Now, so just based on that, not to mention, of course, the incredible Intercontinental title run that he had, the feud with the Ultimate Warrior. The stuff he did in WCW when he cut his hair.
When he had Jake's wife, his face on his crotch area. Oh, that shit was great, man.
That was great, man. Jake took his pants off.
Yes, and they censored it. It was great, man. It was great. I really, even me being a kid, I knew how disrespectful that was to put Jake's wife in his crotch area and his butt. Like, it was just really bad, man.
When he went up to Rude's wife in the audience, when he went up to Jake's wife in the audience, I should say. And he started, really, giving it to her on the microphone. Like you said, even as a kid, I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Oh, this is not normal." Like, they weren't doing stuff like that at that time. Yeah. So very, very raunchy at that time. That was
Rude was a really great athlete, man. Really great. A lot of people think he should have been the world champion.
Oh, for sure. He should have won a world title somewhere. The guy was too good not to have won one.
Well, he was the WCW champion.
No, but we're talking about WWE. I guess, he made it, but a lot of people think WWE
was a part of. He was also a part of the Dangerous Alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very.
His feud with Steamboat was great.
For some reason, that group doesn't get talked about enough.
Oh, yep.
I remember him in WCW. I remember Paul Heyman was the Black Ninja, remember? And he was supposed to be Steamboat's corner and betrayed him, hit him with the phone.
No. Yeah. He was never WCW champion.
No?
He's the US champion.
Yeah.
But not the WCW champion.
Wow. I always thought he did.
He was the U.S. champion.
He was.
But it was still great though. NWA, I don't know.
NWA.
I started following him in WWE.
I could have sworn he had some major title in WCW.
I mean, he was the United States champion, the international champion, which was kind of the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
Yeah.
But either way, well-deserved Hall of Fame. Very, very, very well-deserved. So I'm that's nobody's going to dispute that at all.
It's so far. This is probably one of the best Hall of Fame classes. Just looking at these two, since probably that Booker T, Trish Stratus, Bob Backlund class.
I still say Vader's going to be in.
Yeah.
Gotta get a girl in there, I guess.
I mean, the rumor is there's going to be Mickie James because of NXT TakeOver, but of course. I
mean, unless her career is over.
No,
she's that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be now. It should definitely be when it's winding down. Then I don't think he's winding down because what? Mickie James like 35 only, right? 35 years old, 36.
I don't think even still, it's not going to wind down anytime soon.
Oh no.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean,
I don't think she should go in the Hall of Fame yet.
But she should eventually, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Not this year.
Mickie James held it down for a very long time for the women.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely.
Who else? We have Jackie, we have Lita, and Trish. I think Sable should definitely go in.
I think that's just up to Sable.
But why do so many people think Jackie should go in? I don't really see
she's
her
already
career
in.
to be. No, but I know,
she's a former she's a former WWE champion. She's a former NWA Women's Champion.
I'm just meaning her career. Like, if you would think,
she had a great career.
She had a long ass career.
I'm talking about WWE. That's what I'm mainly talking about.
She's a former champion.
Yeah, I'm talking about her overall.
A lot of people were former champions. You know, it's just.
Well, like before,
I don't know.
Well, okay, the cat's not
if
going.
You're talking about, no.
There's a line.
if you're talking about like a legitimate Hall of Fame, then maybe not. But she's rightfully so in that Hall of Fame.
Even legitimate Hall of Fame. I mean, like Jacqueline pretty much built the women's division in the WWE during that Sable era, and then she was kind of like the transition between your Sable and Deborah's to your Litas and Trish's, where you had excellent matches. Plus,
that's not to mention the fact that she was also again one of the very few females that were both in WCW and WWE at that era.
I don't know. I guess maybe because back then I was so focused on like Sable and people like that. I didn't really think Jacqueline was a factor. Even though I'm not saying she was hot too. She was really toned, but I don't know.
And
her work,
she didn't really do nothing for me. Her
work speaks for itself. I mean, she's deserved. She's deserved.
And how about this one for you? There are only 2 women who have held male championships in WWE. Jacqueline's the second.
Yep, she's had a hell of a career.
And the first one was China, right?
But I could see Sable going in. I mean, she was a pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
She
definitely
wrestled Mark Merrow. I thought she did a great job when she did that. By the way, very underrated match at WrestleMania 14 with her and Mark Merrow versus Goldust and Luna. That was a really good match.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you something. And her Playboy magazine rang a lot of bells around that time, man. It was really talked about.
The fact that she powerbombed Mark Merrow, I mean, that was cool as hell at that time.
I just want to see Brock Lesnar doing the induction ceremony for his wife. Like, yeah, this is the girl I'm gonna fuck later tonight, Sable.
He's gonna be like, yeah.
I'm gonna drink some Coors Light and then have sex with my wife.
I just want her to say the line, this is for all the men who, women who, can't be me, and all the men who come to see me.
But does anybody know why Sable's career was cut so short? Because, I mean, I felt like she wasn't there in the top that long. Like, what was it, a year and a half, maybe 2? And then she disappeared.
Right.
Like, what happened? She was really over.
I think there was a lot of people in the back that wanted her. And I think she felt uncomfortable about that. That's honestly what I believe.
Because you didn't find that strange. Like she was in the top a year or 2 later, and she's gone. Like it just didn't make no sense to me.
That's why I think she left, because I think she started getting uncomfortable when she came back. If you remember, she came back.
Yeah.
In 1999, June of 1999, Sable quit the WWF and filed a $110 million lawsuit against the company, citing allegations of sexual harassment and unsafe working conditions.
And I totally believe that because she was hot. She was like one of the hottest divas there. So
and that's what I said. I sensed that she felt uncomfortable, and when she came back in 2002 or something, everything she did was sexual. Everything. She was trying to sexually influence Zach Gowen. Yeah. Everything she did was they had that Playboy Mansion match at WrestleMania 20. I think she was just uncomfortable.
But even that run was short.
But everything she did was sexual. Yeah. And I think it got to her. Yeah. I really do. I think it really got to her.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I'll tell you one diva that didn't care, and that was definitely Trish Stratus, because she went with every storyline that was awkward, and I guarantee you she was getting harassed just as much as Sable was, and she liked every minute of it.
Doesn't mean she was comfortable.
And she stood. I mean, if you're doing a segment where she's bending down, Triple H got his pelvis all on her butt, Well, I mean, that's Stephanie walking in.
That's nowhere near like if you had someone tell Trish Stratus to do what Sable did, like take off her top and just have that black paint thing. Like Sable went far worse than what Trish did.
Yes, Sable did a lot farther. I mean, she had a lot of stuff with. She had like the sexual storyline with Tori Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Trish did the same thing with Mickey, so.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't as bad.
But I heard that Trish and Lillian Garcia had a relationship, so I don't think Trish was that far off.
Oh, she wasn't. You never seen the award show where Trish was hosting it and she kissed Pamela Anderson in the mouth in front of everybody? So I guarantee. Yeah, I think Trish was definitely going that way.
There was a lot of rumors about that. A lot of rumors.
Yeah, her and Lillian Garcia.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. Wish I was there because Lillian's still hot. I don't know. Very underrated. Anyway.
We're talking about like way back in the day when Lillian was really hot.
You don't think she's still hot? I think she's still hot for her age.
Yeah, for her age.
So
I don't think of her, though,
getting away from Lillian Garcia, there is another person that is pretty much guaranteed to go in this year's Hall of Fame, and that is Drax Shadow.
Huh?
I see him getting the Warrior Award.
Yeah.
Who's Drax Shadow again?
If you remember, there was I think it was a segment on Raw. It was pre-taped and they showed it later. A kid that was battling cancer was in the audience with Stardust, and they were brought in the ring, and he was saying, "I'm Drax Shadow. If you hadn't met me, you go in the darkness," or something like that.
But, he passed, right? But once again, though, that's again, no offense to the kid that died.
No.
But that is not what the Warrior said that award was about.
No. I'm pissed off because I should have felt sad the kid passed away just like how Connor did. But my first thought was he's Warrior Award. He's going to the Hall of Fame.
That's not what the Warrior was talking about when he talks about that award at all. I don't know why they made it that way, but that's not what the Warrior was talking about. The Warrior was talking about people who work backstage, who do the unrecognizable work. That's what he was talking about. And he says it clear as day. Clear as day, many times actually. And they're giving it awards to people who pass away, and I think there should be a separate award for something like that. What the Warrior was talking about, and his intention, is not what that award is being used for at all. Obviously a very sad thing, and I do remember that actually when he said the Drax Shadow thing.
Yeah,
I do remember that very clearly.
And of course,
that sucks, by the way.
Even
that
Cody,
sucks.
Which is going to suck if they do this whole thing, and Cody's not going to be there at all. Because Cody should, man.
You know what sucks? There was a kid who had the same situation. He was a Breaking Bad fan, and the cast of Breaking Bad went to go see him. This was around the time of where it was about to end, and the person that created the show told the kid, "I'll tell you, what happens in the finale." And the kid said, "No, I don't want to know what happens. I want to find out with everybody else." And he passed away before the finale.
Oh.
That I don't know why that got to me more than than others, but I just thought, like, first of all, I thought it was the coolest thing that Walter himself went there, Skyler went there, Saul Goodman went there. It was just amazing to see them do that. They gave him the crystal meth candy. they gave him like a whole bunch of stuff from the show, and they really wanted to tell him what was about to happen. He died in episode 9, which there were 16 that year, and they actually dedicated episode 9 to him. And I thought that was cool. I thought like what they did for him was really, really cool. That made that kid's entire life basically.
But what were you saying, Laura, about Drax?
Yeah.
What was I saying? I was kind of actually hoping that if they do give him the Warrior Award, that that Cody kind of buries the hatchet, if just for one night.
Well, like
to do that.
Well, I mean, he was a massive Cody Rhodes fan, so
he was a Stardust fan. But like the picture is even showing Cody, not Stardust, like in the back with Drax.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if they gave him the award, it would be because he's a Stardust fan, so he would have to be there.
You'd think, but I mean, they did the Dusty Cup, and they didn't even have Cody there. And Cody said he wanted to be there, but WWE never contacted him.
By the way, I saw that. When we talked about that, when the teddy bear thing happened, I didn't see the segment. I actually saw the segment, and I again still agree with Cody Rhodes.
I still agree with Goldust.
But yeah, Cody should be there. Cody should be there for that. It'd be totally messed up if he wasn't.
Yeah.
It'd be like the kid being a Warrior fan and, the Warrior, if he was alive, not being there. I don't know.
It was like having the Con of the Crusher moment without Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. It would make no sense. WWE's got to suck it up for this one.
Yeah. God, I hope they do. If he goes in as the Warrior thing and all that, and they don't give it to some random celebrity with cancer instead, they got to.
But again, once again, they not really what the award was intended for. But yeah, I could see this kid getting it, for that reason. So he's pretty much, I would be very surprised if they didn't. In terms of celebrities, again, somebody that's not, I don't think she's in the Hall of Fame, but should be the front runner, even more so than other people that have passed away or whatever, and that's Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper should be the front runner. I don't know how she's not in the Hall of Fame yet. She was massive for the WWE when WWE exploded, and she should be the front runner of that. She actually, throughout all the documentaries and stuff, I mean, she put her career on the line for that. Her entire management team were not happy about her doing that. So she put her career on the line just to get involved in WWF. So I think she should be a front runner in that. I hope in terms of celebrity wings, but you never see that mentioned, so I don't know. I don't think she's going to be in it.
I don't know. If there's not going to be Cyndi Lauper, I don't know who the hell they could put in. I mean, they seem to focus on people. Shaq already. I mean, let him have his match first. Do it next year.
By the way, I'm glad you brought that up. Big Show looks in phenomenal shape, for...
Holy God, he looks in amazing shape.
For the first time in a really long time, he looks in really good shape. Unlike Shaquille O'Neal, because I watch NBA a lot. And I watch NBA on TNT, which O'Neal does the panel for. And I saw him the other day, and he got up, and I was just like, if he's going to have a match with Big Show, he's going to have to start doing something because he is not in shape.
I think it's the suit, because he's been posting videos on his Instagram. He looks in great shape, man. No, it's not his suit, man.
It's not his suit. No, it's not his suit. I've seen him. He did a special Sack and the Fool recently, and he wasn't wearing a suit, and he looked big. He let's put it this way. Either way, he doesn't look like in physical shape to do what he has to do. Even if he's not going to do a lot, he still has to present himself. Again, it's all about presentation. You're going to be in Orlando. Mm-hmm. That's where Shaquille O'Neal made his name. You got to look presentable. I mean, granted, he's got months, but it's getting shorter, And based on the shape that I saw him in just the other day, I don't think so.
I was just looking at the Celebrity Hall of Fame. Mike Tyson, Donald Trump, Mr. T, those three in a row. I want to watch that reality show.
Yeah. I could see Donald Trump being at WrestleMania.
He probably will be, man. No doubt.
I could totally see it. I could totally see it.
In a bulletproof box, maybe.
Right. Like Donald Trump be like presented on stage, that crowd's gonna boo so hard.
You know what's funny though? I remember when Obama got elected, everybody was like, "Man, that guy's gonna totally get assassinated," and he never did. So I don't know. Like, you think like Donald Trump would get assassinated, but I don't know. They have really good.
He keeps going on Twitter. You never know.
Yeah, Obama never really pissed people off. He was just black and Muslim. Donald Trump is pissing people off. Because he knew how to talk. Because he knows how to talk. That's why. Obama probably could talk himself out of an assassination. He could. It's true.
He's a good talker. We're not going to have a president like in terms of talking as well as he does for a long time.
Oh, we almost did, but
hey, I was gonna say he was rock level talk.
Yeah,
for the longest time. It's like, damn.
I was watching this comedy show and they were like, Obama could like read a menu and you would just pay attention. Right. The way he would he just had points.
Meanwhile, you just want to punch Trump in the mouth every time he opens up his trap.
I don't know if you know this, but there's a movie about Obama when he was a teenager on Netflix.
Yeah. Barry?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see that, actually.
I heard it's really good. Netflix is doing this thing, man. They're rocking it. Yeah, they actually brought back One Day I don't know if anybody remembers One Day at a Time as a comedy series back in the 80s, but they actually brought it back as a Netflix series.
They need to bring back freaking Lucha Underground. Why isn't that on Netflix yet?
Thank you for reminding me. What was the show on MTV that had to do with luchadors? I don't know if you remember that. It was
talking about Wrestling Society X?
Yeah.
There was no luchadors in that, for one.
There wasn't? Because I have a mask.
Oh, yeah, Vampiro. Yeah.
I have a mask from one of those guys. I don't know which one, but I got one for Christmas from the MTV show.
X. Who the hell was that?
I don't know how these guys, by the way, breathe in those masks, because I couldn't even have it on for 2 seconds.
Wow.
I tried.
Cardio.
I'm like, damn, Rey Mysterio.
Right?
There's another guy that should be going to the Hall of Fame.
Maybe not right now, because he's still pretty active. I mean,
is he?
Yeah, like he's very active in AAA. He's the biggest name in Lucha Underground right now, and he just got signed on to do some events at What Culture Pro Wrestling. Yeah. So Rey Mysterio probably won't go in the Hall of Fame for a little bit. But as far as somebody who guaranteed, and honestly, has a Hall of Fame career, I'll give him credit on this, who will not be going in that Hall of Fame, Alberto El Patron. Oh, God. Alberto Del Rio. Yeah.
You notice how, like, ever since he started with being with Paige, that his life is, one trouble after another?
His life was shit before that, man.
It was not consistently like this. It was not like this. Sorry.
It went downhill when he burnt the bridges at AAA to join WWE and just left him high and dry while he was the world champion.
No.
After that, it went down.
Started dating Paige. And by the way, I'm sorry to mention this. I know we're talking randomly back and forth.
Oh.
Just something about Raw real quick. So last week, they had what I thought was a great thing, personally, when Bayley beat Nia Jax with the belly-to-belly. This week, gets destroyed and gets pinned. Then that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you're building Bayley, build her. Don't have her lose to fucking Nia Jax.
They're just trying to save face for Nia Jax. That's what I think.
It makes no sense, man. She's wrestling Charlotte, right? Isn't she wrestling Charlotte at Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tag team match, so a lot of people's not going to consider it a real loss,
I didn't dig that at all. I didn't dig tag team match or no tag team match. There were two people in that match.
But they're trying to give her. They're still trying to have Nia Jax to be the monster. They don't want her to lose, and then they're going to lose another match. And
sorry, that train left because you beat Nia with distracting her last week. So that train of a monster, no. If you're gonna,
I think they're just evening it out. That's all. They just want to balance the win-loss in between them, and don't make somebody look more weak than the other. That's what I'm thinking.
That's stupid. I'm sorry. That's stupid to me. Build Bayley up. That's it. Build Bayley. She's wrestling Charlotte. There were two people in that match. Bailey didn't have to lose.
That's true. Right, exactly. She's teaming up with somebody with a bad leg, so maybe it should have been her who lost, but
that's what I'm saying.
Going with the bad leg, but hey.
Makes no sense to me.
By the way, I really don't think Bailey's gonna win that belt.
No.
Well, not this time. Anyway.
She's gonna win at Mania, if anything.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mania, this match, because right now it seems like WrestleMania matches are about set. Shaq and Big Show, Triple H and Seth Rollins, John Cena and Undertaker is still the big rumor. Of course, Braun Strowman and Roman in that match is rumored as well. Some weird thing with those four. This one, it's been coming out recently that Triple H has been pushing hard for Neville not to only be the Cruiserweight champion, but to defend the title against Kota Ibushi.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
So, but they haven't signed Ibushi yet, right?
He's a part-timer right now.
Yeah.
That would be great, man. Yo, let me tell you something, awesome. Joey, have you seen Ibushi fight?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the Cruiserweight. He's a really good talent.
I have him
really good. Yeah.
I have him.
So that would be that.
That's my guy.
The pretty much
that,
and I agree with Triple H. I would love Neville to be the champion.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going with Braun Strowman and Undertaker, and also I'm going with Randy and Bray Wyatt.
Well, that one's going to happen. Randy and Bray, Braun and Roman and Taker and John. Those are my guess. Laura.
I have no fucking clue.
about Neville and Bushi, because you wanted to say something. I mean, you've seen Ibushi more than me, and Neville, the former junior heavyweight champion from New Japan.
Oh God, more just like you said, it's a part-time thing. Even if they haven't signed him to a full-time contract, even if we know what the hell the end of that match is going to be, I want to watch that because they're going to be one of those. It's going to be in the rafters kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great. It's going to get the crowd, the entire place to pop and get them going. That's what needs to be done.
And considering other... Oh, go ahead, Joey.
No, I was going to say, I hope at some point, even though AJ's not a cruiserweight, that AJ versus Neville happens. Because I would love to see that match.
And even though it's...
Neville's
kind
awesome.
of hasn't been set in stone yet, most of these matches. The other match that's being rumored for the Cruiserweight, and you have to choose between the two? Really? Is that a choice? A 6-man ladder match for the title. Like,
that would be fucking awesome, man.
I'd rather see Ibushi Neville.
With the Cruiserweights? Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Ibushi versus Neville 101.
I mean, I'm just saying. I thought he was saying that both of them is gonna be on the show, but regardless, I feel like that 6-man ladder match would be great too, man. Imagine the things they're gonna do, the spots they're gonna pull. You fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And little by little, it seems like like the crowd is starting to be a little. They're warming up to the Cruiserweights a little bit. Now they're getting a little more of a reaction. You know what I mean? Like the Jack Gallagher.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
the gentleman's
they're giving it to him.
The gentleman's fight that they had, man, that was beautiful. That was beautiful television. The gentleman's
they did the parlay tonight on 205 Live with Gallagher and Daivari, and it was basically almost like a contract signing to a point. And it ended up getting into a fight towards the end. It was just something fun.
I love Jack Gallagher, man. He's rocking it right now, and they're giving the cruiserweights personalities, so that's a good thing. But Neville, I think, has been killing it, man. Neville has been killing it on the mic. He is really like let loose, man. I love it.
And it's only been 1 week, but it seems like it's been an eternity. There was no Brian Kendrick, right, on Monday? No, I'm serious. Like, for some reason, it feels like a long time. It's only been one Monday, but I have this feeling that he said it's over for him. Like, he is done.
He hasn't worked out, man. I don't know why. Because I used to really, really dig Brian Kendrick, but something about him this time around, I don't know what it is. It hasn't clicked. It hasn't clicked for him. Yeah, I think people started surpassing him. Gallagher for one. I think Tony Nese is more entertaining. The guy is he still the champ? Who's the champion?
It's still Rich Swann.
Yeah, Rich Swann is good. Man. So,
In which he had a match tonight too. Let's try to remember again.
Well, it's very clear now that Swan is holding that title for Neville.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
Well, Neville came out after the match was over with and confronted Swan.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that those two are going to go at it at Rumble.
Yeah, Neville's been just killing it in every category you can think of. And by the way, let's not forget that there's someone else that's going to be a part of this eventually, and that is the greatest man that ever lived. When Austin Aries gets involved in this, that's when things are going to be like, whoa.
It's so cool to see him on Raw calling.
Yes, he's doing really good with that. Really good with that.
Yeah, I like Austin Aries, man. He has a lot of depth in him, for sure. I don't know. I just like him on the mic. I like him being a commentator, and eventually he's going to be in the ring. I think, to be honest with you, I think that the commentating is going to actually, make him more over by the time he comes back to the ring.
Yeah, he's been killing it, man. He's been killing it in every sense.
Yeah, looking at 205 Live, because we've been on this show during this. Noam Dar beat Cedric Alexander, then Cedric dumped Alicia Fox. Why the hell was that storyline to begin with?
Yeah.
Brian. So I guess Alicia's going to end up with Noam Dar. Brian Kendrick beat Sean Malute, and it sounds like he's going to be feuding with Tajiri now, which I'm down with that. Akira Tozawa's coming next week, I'm guessing. Rich Swann beat Tony Nese, and at the Royal Rumble, it will be Neville versus Swan for the title. And next week, I'm thinking it is Jack Gallagher and Daivari will be facing off in a I Forfeit match.
Yeah. That guy's channeling Daniel Day-Lewis, man.
Here's on the network right now. Well, nobody's going to hear this when it happens, but they got the UK Championship tourney preview going right now.
Yeah.
So basically, Neville is absolutely, positively going to win the title at the Royal Rumble.
Oh, of course.
I mean, it's not like Swan's producing for him. I mean, he had a great. Like I said, I just couldn't remember who it was. Because for some reason, I get Nese and Gulag mixed up for some strange fucking reason.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, exactly. Ooh. Tony Nese is so good, man. I don't know, something about Tony Nese, and I just feel like they don't focus on him enough. He's a really good talent, man.
Tony Nese has the same problem he had in TNA. He can't really cut a promo. He has such little character. I mean, if you want a 5-star match, he'll give it to you. If you want a guy that will tell you a story, he's a little harder on that.
Yeah.
But I don't see Rich Swann being such a great talker either. I don't know.
He talks.
If anything, I'm surprised they went this direction. I mean, if it was Rich Swann and Alicia Fox and Cedric Alexander was your champion, oh man, it would have been so much better. Cedric gets charisma left and right.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't sense that with him right now.
Cedric?
Yeah.
It's because he's dating Alicia Fox for his feud. The guy had WWE put it as the 3rd best match in their company last year against Coda.
Yeah, Cedric Alexander is a very good talent also, but they're not really doing much with him.
Yeah.
These love angles, I don't like these love angles, honestly. They just tells me you don't know what the hell to do with this person.
Yeah. I hate him.
Then why is he has to be hooked up with a black girl? Because he's black? Like why can't he be?
Well, she fucked up the match tonight, and they're no longer together, so don't worry about it.
Right. Thank you.
That irked me, man. Like, why does a black girl gotta date the black guy? Why can't he date somebody else?
And not only that, but the same kind of thinking goes with Titus O'Neil. Why does he have to join the New Day?
Exactly, because they're all black. Yes.
My God, I tuned the fuck out in that segment last night.
By the way, didn't Titus O'Neil pay his punishment? I mean, really, do they have to humiliate the guy again?
Oh, they are really. I mean, they dug up something from 2010 of him tripping, man.
Come on, man. He paid his punishment,
Yeah, they really are burying this guy.
I knew that was going to happen. By the way, I knew that they were going to bring him back. They were going to be quiet at first, but eventually they were going to get him. because that's their pattern. That's their fucking pattern when they do something against the company or what they perceive is against the company. Because I don't even think he did something really bad, but whatever. He paid his punishment, but no, they had to start the humiliation route again. It's just I don't understand it. And Titus O'Neil has to stand there and take this. I feel for the guy. I really do. That segment, I was just like, wow, man, this guy's getting just.
Let me tell you something. He is he is so perfect for TNA right now. I mean, it's hard. It's bad to say it, but I feel like he'll fit right in, man. There is nothing going on for him right now in WWE. He needs to go over there.
He's a hell of an athlete. There was a point in time where he was in the ring and he was getting the crowd was with him. He had a lot of momentum before that incident. And now again, starting with the punishment route, like the guy got punished, let it go, and that's what it is. People are like, oh, it's not because they're punishing him. There's no other reason. There's no other fucking reason for you to do that. And again, I want to join the New Day because I'm a black guy. It's just like, what?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I think the first week was pretty funny. But then last, Monday was like, okay.
It's like, when I saw that, I was just like, wow, man. I was just like, man, this is so messed up. I really felt for Titus O'Neil last night. I really did.
And this also shows that they don't know what to do with the New Day either. Because now they got 2 weeks in a row of them beating him. I don't know. It's just, it's getting stale, man. It's getting stale. The New Day, everybody's getting stale.
I think, I went to FYE yesterday, 2 days ago, something like that. And you just look around the store, they got freaking New Day gear all over the damn place. I mean, yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact New Day's selling merch like crazy, they'd probably be broken up by now.
Yeah. They do sell a lot of merchandise, man.
Yeah.
That's all I saw when I was in the garden. Fucking New Day stuff. Mm-hmm. That and AJ.
It's so funny. Somebody didn't get a chance to tell you guys. We're sitting here, we were watching Raw the week after that they had dropped the belts to Sheamus and Cesaro, and my son, who has been a New Day fan for like the last year, and I'm like, look, Bubba, it's the New Day. He looks at me and he goes, yeah, I don't like them anymore. Why? Well, they're not the champions anymore. I went, okay, you can't argue with that.
Yeah.
It's 6,
People forget that there's a lot of perception going on, There's a lot of perception. My son is a big New Day fan, too. And, that's how I used to feel, by the way, when somebody lost a belt when I was a kid. I used to be like, their value is kind of a little bit down, Oh. That's why when Brett won the title, I was like, what? It's like, he beat Ric Flair? Like, that makes no sense, but... Yeah, I mean, but it always right, man. They clearly do not have a plan right now for the New Day because they're just wandering.
Yeah, the Raw tag team division needs to be fixed. I mean, what is the tag team division? Is it like 3 teams right now?
There's Carl Anderson and Gallows, who, for some odd reason, have really been destroyed in the WWE.
Well,
Have you noticed that they keep on mentioning how they're from Japan?
Yeah,
it's almost like they're doing it even more now. It's like, because I don't know if you heard the article. Supposedly, New Japan is going to start signing exclusive deals because I guess the rumor has it they're getting tired of WWE rating them. And it's like ever since the article came out, like they really stretch it. Yeah, they were the man in Japan, and like they were ruling Japan, but then they lose. It's almost like you're the man over there, but over here, you're losing. Like that's what they're trying to say.
Last week, didn't Doc beat Cesaro?
He beat him, but then but once that article came out, then Luke Gallows loses. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's almost like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. You're the man in Japan. We're gonna say it on TV, but we're gonna job you. Make you nothing over here.
I mean, it probably doesn't help much either that. Like, we're hearing that New Japan is kind of trying to declare war against the WWE. Not only with the contract thing, but as well, they're actually, I think it's June. New Japan's coming to America to start doing shows in the United States.
Wow.
That's crazy. So they ain't going to be New Japan no more, right? They coming to New York, U.S.
Just think about that. When was the last time you saw a company pretty much declare war against the WWE? And honestly, I think Japan has a not take over. I want to make that clear, but has a shot to really give them an interesting run or a nice rivalry.
I definitely believe so. No, I believe so because Japan is pretty hardcore.
I don't understand why Japan didn't do that before. Not come over here, but sign exclusive contracts because they've been rated for a very long time. I mean, they got fucking Nakamura out of there, like AJ out of there.
It was only
but they taking everybody. Man.
It was only last year they got rated, and it's
not exclusive. I would have
locked
that shit down, though. I would have locked that shit down.
It's not exclusive deals. It's multi-year deals. They sign their guys on for 1 year, and that's it.
Right. Either way, they need to lock it down.
Yeah.
Because WWE is using them as a
I'm guessing Kenny Omega is the reason why, right?
No, Kenny Omega is not leaving New Japan. Okay, so, yeah.
Well, you never know.
I mean, the way he was talking in interviews, he wants to be the best guy who has never been in WWE, so...
But at the same time,
so why did John Cena tweet that, then? So why did John Cena tweet Kenny Omega's picture right before the Rumble like he did with AJ Styles last year?
To tickle people's balls. That's it.
I mean, last year he tweeted AJ Styles' picture, and AJ Styles, ended up in the Royal Rumble. And
exactly, but I think it's just to tickle people's balls. Yeah. That's it.
Kenny Omega, he's under contract.
Yeah, but why?
Kenny Omega is under contract to January 31st. So.
Okay.
Plus, Omega even said in an interview recently with Tokyo, especially after the world exploded, he said, well, I'm not going to be at this event or that event, but I just need to really refocus and try and get better and blah, 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 and things like that. I feel like Omega, I think it's all working, and he's just really pulling the wool on our eyes.
I don't. But again, number one, I don't think it's impossible. I think Omega could absolutely show up in WWE in spite of what he says, because we've seen that many, many times. People say, "Oh, I'm not going there. I have no intention of going there," and then they show up. So it's not impossible for that to happen. But again, going back to New Japan, you need to start locking shit down because WWE is literally using them as a outside NXT. In a way, whatever they're not doing in NXT, we'll do it from New Japan, and we'll see what's going on over there. Whatever the hot thing is going on over there. Hey, Gallows and Anderson are doing well. Let's get them. When they get here, of course, they're like, we don't know what to do with them, really. Oh, I will say though that they look amazing in the game. By the way,
yeah,
Anderson and Gallows look fucking amazing in the game.
I'm looking at a little bit more of the updates on the Kenny Omega John Cena tweets. He did respond to that. Also, John Cena put on his Instagram a picture of Kenny from South Park saying, "I am Kenny." So that's funny.
Yeah.
He said that if I were to end up there, working with someone of his caliber would certainly be a goal and jive with my mission of changing wrestling. I'm glad to be on its radar, but I haven't made any decisions regarding my future.
And that's very vague, by the way.
Yeah.
That's very, very vague.
He's staying vague. I think he's doing that on purpose, just to mess with people.
Yeah, but also, I still think it's possible.
And Joey, this is going to be insane for you. Holy crap, I might watch this too.
What?
This Friday on Access TV, in its entirety, will be the Okada versus Omega match.
Really?
With Jim Ross on commentary.
Oh.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Holy crap.
I thought they would run it with...
Oh, he wasn't a commentary originally?
It was
American commentators were Kevin Kelly and Steve Corino.
So this is basically Jim Ross not live. He's not live. He's just doing a voiceover?
Yeah.
I don't like that. It's never the same.
Which Corino, oh my God, that was hilarious.
Y'all don't agree with me? It's never the same when somebody does a voiceover.
But
the enthusiasm is not there. The surprise is not there.
Yeah. Laura, I'm agreeing. They had a what was it? A 9-man tag gauntlet match or what have you?
It was a gauntlet for their for the New Japan
6-man never open weight tag titles. Yeah.
And one of the guys from the Bullet Club, every Wrestle Kingdom has some beauty on his arm, but this time it was a train of beauties. And Carino had to be tied down, basically.
Oh, it's even better. It was Tonga Loa. He kept on. Was in the tag team match, and he kept on talking crap to his opponents. And at one point, he said, "Eat shit" to his opponent, and Steve Carino just started laughing so much he had to turn his microphone off.
Yeah, I'm with Odo. I'd rather hear it with Carino and Kelly than.
Exactly.
Just dubbing the voice, like it'll be like a bad Japanese.
You know what it is? It just doesn't. The enthusiasm is not there.
Well,
you know, the excitement, and then you know how when somebody's faking it, you can obviously hear it through the. It's like the old Coliseum video matches. But back in the days, you know, it wasn't. You know, you could tell they were in a studio. It's not the same.
Sean fucking Mooney, man, he would kill it. He would just kill it with those commentary tracks on the Coliseum home video, man. You knew that he didn't even want to be there.
But this isn't like Sean Mooney. This is Jim Ross. I mean, I know, I'm willing to give it a shot.
That's even worse. So then me knowing that it's a voiceover and I'm going to hear him say, "Oh my God! Oh my God!" You know, the way he over exaggerates, and it's like, dude, you're not even there live. Like, come on.
Not only that, but if he knows the results and everything, it's like, you know.
It's never going to be the same, man. Never.
Yeah. Like I said, if you guys could find the Kevin and Carino version, I would suggest that. I was just getting. I
got a website.
I always watch the Japanese version before I watch the English version, just because I love listening to that.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to hear Jim Ross because that's what I'm going to see. But
yeah, it's
not
your
my
option
favorite.
Essentially.
Yeah, exactly. But I totally agree with you cannot be excited or have that feeling when you're doing a recording. You just can't. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be. I mean, Jim Ross is probably going to give a good effort, but still not going to be the same.
I hope to hear back from you next week about what you think of the match. Then for sure.
Oh no, yeah. It's like a perfect example is like some DVDs have commentary now instead of the commentary from before, and you can hear like I would totally not want to watch it with the commentary that they do now. Mm-hmm. You know, some of them have like the Austin sitting there talking about his match and doing commentary. It's not my thing. It's not my thing.
It was like the old VHSs. It was like "Cause I Said So" and Austin doing commentary over his matches. Yeah. Like those were awesome because he was like, "Then I kicked this mother ass," and this guy is stunner. Like, okay,
it's like when DVDs first came out, I really thought that I was going to be into directors' commentaries. And then I started watching movies with directors' commentaries, and I realized, like, this is horrible.
I get bored so fast with those.
Like, I can't do it. Like, I can't watch a movie and then listen at the same time. Like, I can't. It's just too much for me. Like, there was only one commentary that I heard that was really interesting, and that was for Fight Club, and Brad Pitt was on it. And, they were saying things that were happening in certain scenes that nobody knew. And I found that interesting, but other than that, but I was listening to the commentary. I wasn't really watching the movie. I can't watch a movie and then listen to commentary from the director, especially when it's like a boring ass, just describing every little detail. I want to hear funny, interesting things, and that's what Fight Club was doing. Like Ed Norton and Brad Pitt were doing funny, interesting things during the commentary. The Goonies one also is really good because it's actually video commentary. But other than that, like, I realized, like, pre-recorded or after-recorded commentary doesn't work for me at all. You're going to hear, like, it's like the game. Like, I don't use commentary in the game ever. I think it's the worst thing ever to ever happen to a game is a commentary. The very, very mechanical lines that they use. And NBA does a great job. I don't know how they do it, but... But they do a phenomenal job with the commentary on that game. That's the only commentary that I listen to. But other than that, very difficult.
That's exactly what it's going to sound like. Perfect. WWE 2K17 voiceover.
Yeah, that's exactly what I know.
He's coming down the aisle.
This man has a great weapon. It's like, shut up.
Woohoo! Puppies! Woohoo!
By the way, speaking about puppies, is Jerry Lawler completely gone?
Looks like he's working. Yeah. He's got indie dates now, consistent indie dates.
Oh, but I thought they said they were going to keep him for network specials.
No, well, they might. they haven't done any, but so we have to wait and see. But I don't think Lawler. I don't think Lawler has to feel some type of way about this. He has to.
Of course, but hopefully he was smart enough to save his money. You know what I'm saying?
And personally, I didn't understand. Maybe not the pay-per-views, but like Raw pre-shows or after shows. Like, I'm good.
Let me ask you a question, man. I've been wanting to ask you, what did y'all think about the Jericho winning the U.S. title?
Yay!
Awesome.
Yeah, thank God.
You wanna know why? And it's not just because I'm a fan of Jericho. It's because Jericho has been busting his ass for the last fucking year. Mm-hmm. He deserves it.
And
you know what? I have to kind of. I mean, I really want to be like hyped for Jericho. I just feel like he has no momentum. Just like the Dolph Ziggler winning the IC title. It's just there's no momentum. He hasn't won a match in how long?
Well,
and in storyline purposes, he won the match because they both jumped Roman Reigns.
Right.
It just made him look weak. Honestly.
Did it make him look weak or make Roman look really, really strong?
I think both.
If Jericho would have won a couple weeks in a row and then won the title, fine, no problem. Yeah. I'll have no problem with it. But he hasn't won in a long time, man. I don't know.
And it took I wasn't feeling a lot to put Roman down. A lot.
Which is so fucking stupid. He's your champion at the Rumble, no doubt. But I mean, on the other side, not looking at the fact of him having momentum, that title had no momentum on Roman, though. I mean,
it was going nowhere.
Yeah, it was just I don't know. And another thing, I'm just hoping he doesn't lose it in his first defense. If he does, it's horrible.
As of right now, who would he lose it to, though?
Kevin Owens.
Because right now, there's nobody that he would be facing right now.
Yeah, he's not going to lose.
Because they're going into the Rumble.
But didn't he make history though by doing that? Like now he won every major title.
Yeah. In the WWE, he's held every single belt that company has ever had.
Wow.
Wow.
Like he's a former European champion, former hardcore champion, one of their, no matter how many of the tag team titles he's had, WCW champion in WWE, World Heavyweight champion, WWF champion, 9-time Intercontinental champion, a 5-time tag team champion. I mean,
well, he's never had the Cruiserweight title though.
He's never been in Cruiserweight status.
He was a Cruiserweight champion in WCW. Yeah, 4 times.
But not WWE though.
That title was
the same title.
He came to the WWE. He was not light enough for that.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying he hasn't had every single title. But
or the light heavyweight championship with Taka Michinoku held.
Right.
How about them apples?
Yeah, those are apples.
I like that name, by the way, the light heavyweight title. I always like that name better.
Oh, yeah. Suzuki going with Taka Michinoku. I'm kind of excited.
Hold on. Has he even won the hardcore title before?
Yeah, hardcore champion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking for one. I know I'm going to find one more.
I'm trying to remember.
I'm not going to remember because, Jesus, what did they do with that belt?
That was a 24/7 belt, if I remember correctly.
Exactly. So he probably won it one time.
I honestly don't remember Jericho winning that, though.
Exactly. I mean, do you remember, Undertaker holding it, for example?
No.
Yes, when he was American Badass, yeah.
Actually, I do. You're right. I do remember that.
I mean, sure, you were interviewing Thrasher, and you forgot he was hardcore champion when you were talking to him. So
yeah, I mean, to name all the hardcore champions, that's yeah. That's
you were really in the middle of the live interview.
Oh yeah, because I didn't know.
He was the hardcore champion on May 28th for approximately 5 minutes, and then lost it to Rhino.
I don't understand why the Headbangers are not around because they look awesome.
They are more indie dates now.
Yeah,
they look really good though. I thought they would look way worse than that, and they look
no. They definitely look good.
They look good.
It's just for some reason Thrasher coming out with those silicone boobs in the Royal Rumble always come to my mind every time I think about them in the Royal Rumble. It's like, what the hell were they thinking, man?
That is true though. I do think about that. And Goldust when he had the that cool music when he was like, I forgot what they were calling him at that time, but
the artist formerly known.
Yeah,
That was great.
that was. I remember that. I remember that Royal Rumble when he came out. I used to love that theme song. That was a cool.
Yeah, that was the best one. It's more hip, actually, more fast paced.
Yeah, that was a good Royal Rumble.
And what was the other one?
By the way, we talked about Undertaker, but we didn't talk about the other guy that made an appearance, which I thought was a very wasted appearance by someone of the stature of Shawn Michaels.
Oh, he was there?
Very wasted.
You couldn't do something better with him, honestly?
I really thought he was going to enter himself in a Royal Rumble. I was waiting for it, and then...
Well, he was there. He was there to push his movie.
But the Rusev thing was so corny, man. It was so fucking corny.
Let me tell you something. Rusev saved that segment. I'm sorry to say, man. I felt like his personality saved it. Yes, the little bit of hope that segment had, it was because of Rusev, because that segment kind of bombed.
It was fucking corny. It was just so, I don't understand why you have Shawn Michaels. You fly him down there. Why can't you do something better with him? Like just anything better. But you have to have the corny route with Rusev and Lana, and if anything, that made Michaels' movie look bad. To be honest, because I started thinking, I would watch it if Lana was in it, but now I'm not. I'm sorry, man. That was just a wasted opportunity with Shawn Michaels, man. Wasted opportunity. Really corny shit. The whole, coming up with movie titles, Dumb and Dumber, and all that bullshit.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Rusev was awesome in that.
Laura don't think so, right, Laura?
I thought that I don't like Rusev being with Daivari right now as is.
Yeah.
I think that whole goddamn
that's not Daivari. That's Ginger Mahal.
But that I agree with too. I hate that. I hate it.
But Ginger Mahal is obviously on some fucking steroids, man. Because this guy right here, let me tell you something. But this fucking guy is jacked. I don't never remember Ginger Mahal being jacked in 3MB like that, man. This guy is ripped.
Jacked when he came back and took on Heath Slater. Exactly. He wasn't jacked.
He was not even that jacked when he came back.
Yo, bro, this guy's making a statement, man. He want anybody to notice him. That's probably the reason why he's on TV now, because he fucking all that juice he's taking.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, we're gonna put you on TV." What? I'm gonna start pumping iron.
Yo, this jacked, man.
Yo, he got jacked, man. Like super jacked. Wow.
I mean,
that's fucking crazy.
I will say I do like the idea of them as a team, but not for this kind of setup.
But I do like Rusev. Like, you want your match with Ginger Mahal? That shit was hilarious, man. Rusev, I'm sorry, Rusev had me dying last night.
I was even done. Jinder Mahal is a tall ass motherfucker. Jeez.
Yeah.
Like Cass is 7 feet. I mean, I'm surprised Jinder never made it before because, wow.
I don't understand like that. See, this is the problem with that situation. Just like Ryder and Mojo. You put Mahal with Rusev, it's not doing anything for Mahal, and it's also hurting Rusev. So nobody's benefiting from that relationship. Same thing with Ryder and Mojo. Ryder's not benefiting from it, and Mojo's just dragging him down, and it's doing nothing for Mojo.
Yeah.
And Mojo was, for some reason, on Talking Smack tonight. The son of a bitch wasn't even on Smackdown, and he was on Talking Smack. I was like, what the fuck is the fucking point of you being on Talking Smack when you're not even on the main show, son of a bitch?
They don't got nothing for him, man. That's why. They still. I think they're just scrambling and like, what the hell they're gonna do with him? Truthfully.
Yeah.
Send his ass.
I just don't understand. Just take him out of fucking TV, man. Get him on TV. Why do we have to see him on TV if you have nothing for him? His partner got injured. That's it. Are they like just trying to put him in segments just to see what works, and so maybe he'll find himself a new tag team partner?
Did his partner get injured, or did he get injured on purpose so he wouldn't be his partner?
Fuck, right?
Yeah.
Think about that one. Also, I want to mention this really quickly. Goldberg is advertised for Fastlane, so he's going to be at Fastlane.
Whoa.
Wow.
Just want to point that out real quick.
As long as he don't talk, we good. Just beat people up.
Jackhammer!
Yeah, I don't want to hear that no more. His first two promos are great. That right there, that sealed the deal. I don't want to hear him talk no more. And honestly, man, those facial expressions, man, when he come out, he has to stop already. Come on, man. There's something about a 57-year-old man trying to. It just reminds me of Gilbert and how The Rock used to like kind of make fun of him right before the match. Just he needs to stop that already, man.
Seriously. On a somber note, real quick, you know who passed away? Timothy Well from Well Done, a tag team from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Timothy Well passed away.
Damn, I remember Well Done.
At 55 years old. Yeah, I definitely remember Well Done, actually.
Stephen Well, right? Stephen Well, Timothy Dunn. Oh, shit.
No, Timothy Well and Stephen Dunn.
Whatever.
Timothy Well is the one that passed away. At 55
it's funny how we remember that tag team, and they were there for like a year.
I know. But you couldn't forget a tag team that was called Well Done.
He kind of was forgotten about because I think he was one of the guys that was named on that lawsuit against the WWE.
Oh.
It's like for some reason I still remember like Doug Furness and Phil LaPon, like and they were only there for like a year. I don't know why, but I remember them.
I remember them from ECW being like the next great tag team. Like they were supposed to be the next like Charlie Haas and Benjamin. I mean before
and they were pretty good in WWE, but for some reason they didn't capitalize with them either. Mm-hmm. 1 year it was gone.
They didn't seem to have any personality. I was watching a couple of episodes with them. As a matter of fact, I was watching Survivor Series '96. They were in Survivor Series, and they had no personality whatsoever. That's why. That's why they didn't get over.
You just mentioned personality, and I saw this on the news update, and I forgot this guy is technically signed to WWE. Shelton Benjamin.
What? Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, honestly, I did not forget. I've been actually waiting for his return already.
Yeah,
like, what the hell?
Too. Because I knew he tore his shoulder, so it was just kind of like a matter of time.
That would be cool if he was in the Rumble.
He shot down those rumors saying he won't be ready by Rumble, but possibly from Mania he could be ready.
That sucks. Well, he might be just saying that.
Yeah, basically.
It's kind of the same. You
hear that buzzer? Ain't no stopping me now. That'd be awesome.
Gets eliminated right away.
I told you that every major guy is going to be in this Rumble. Every major guy.
Every major guy, like Shelton Benjamin.
I think he has the potential to be a major guy.
He had a potential. I think it's too late for that.
He's got more potential than Kurt Hawkins.
I think his return would be pretty big, at the Royal Rumble if he would appear. So.
And Shelton, unlike Kurt, who's been having to try and build a character, Shelton is already a name in WWE. He'd be a great guy in SmackDown.
Yeah. But I'm saying, aside from Benjamin, I think every major guy is going to be in the Rumble, and you're going to see people that like I don't know about Diamond Dallas Page per se, but people like him make an appearance, at the Rumble.
Scott Steiner, Kurt Angle,
Oh, I would.
Is John Morrison still signed with Lucha Underground?
Yes.
Last I know.
That's the one I really would like to see in the Royal Rumble because he's the originator of like what Kofi Kingston does, like gets eliminated but like somehow finds his way back in.
I would personally love if Scott Steiner came out. That
would be fucking awesome.
I would love that shit. I'm being dead serious. Like you hear that siren, that'd be fucking awesome. That'd be a surprise.
And he just go do push-ups in the middle of the ramp. And just go crazy after that. Yeah,
another guy that should be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he's going in. Yeah. I don't know when he would. But
up. I mean, the first night that he's there in WWE at the Survivor Series, give me the fucking microphone.
He's going, fine.
I seriously want to see him against Chris Hero, okay? I don't care what anyone says. I just want to hear Scott Steiner.
Can sift the piss out of him.
And Scott Steiner just cut promos about him being fat. That's the only thing I remember from him in TNA is him saying Samoa Joe's fat. This fat son bitch. Whoa, Scott, shut up. Calm down. He's fat.
He's fat. Yeah, he went off on him about being fat. Yeah.
Scott Steiner is not in the same shape he was a couple of years ago. I've seen a recent interview. He lost a lot of muscle mass. So.
Yeah, by muscle mass you mean he stopped taking steroids.
Yeah, I think Jinder Mahal found his steroids and stole it from him.
He picked up where he left off. Hey, you ain't using that no more?
Hey, pass it over here, man. I need some muscle.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you cannot tell me that Jinder Mahal, from the moment that he returned till now, went to the gym and got that. Get the fuck out of here.
Because there was one week I was looking like, yo, he looked kind of brolic, but last Monday I was like, yo, this guy, you see his veins? I'm like, damn, what the hell?
No, you saw his like the parts that are on top of the shoulders. Like, I was like, whoa. I was like, he looked brolic, man. Really.
I was like, that's why he's on TV now. There you go. That's the reason right there.
Yeah, and also it's a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massively.
Big brolic ripped job guy.
I mean, is there? I just wonder if there's anyone anywhere in this world that thinks that Ginger is competition for anyone. Like, honestly, I'm talking about people that are really naive, that believe that people are winning and losing. If people say, "Man, I think Ginger's going to be really tough on this guy," like it's just like when I see Jinder Mahal, I'm like, okay, who's he losing to?
That's exactly what I say.
But
I
anyway,
don't be like, hey, Dolph Ziggler, at least we had some sort of hope, a little bit, at least.
yeah.
With him, it's like, nah, he's going to lose.
He lost to Kalisto? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, that's our show for tonight. Thank you very much for listening. Next week, once again, we will have the Monster Abyss. So that will be taking up most of our time for next week. So that's basically it. Next week, again, we will have Abyss. And, of course, our interview with Dan Severn is up currently right now on the Fisher Roundtable group page and also our other page. So if you want to check that out, give it a listen. Dan Severn is never, ever boring. I'll tell you that.
It's true.
The man is very, very incredibly one of the most put-together guys that we've ever interviewed.
Speaking of which, if you guys, did you guys see Byron at Walmart? He was like just hanging out in a shopping cart or something. Is that all right?
I know. So thank you very much for listening. We will speak to you guys next week. The man who sleeps on the floor cannot possibly pull out of bed.
And I know what Lillian Garcia and Trish Stratus' mouth does.
He wishes.